Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to another video. So the leaks keep coming thick and fast. We're only 2 days away from the gameplay reveal, but every single map for Battlefield 6, and I'm talking about the multiplayer maps, potential portal maps, and the campaign missions, have all just leaked online. Clearly, if you don't want any spoilers about how many maps are going to be on the game at launch, any of that sort of stuff, then you probably shouldn't watch this video. But that being said, I'm not going to go like too much in detail. I'm not going to be able to show you guys like gameplay of the maps or anything like that. But I do think it's quite interesting to see how many maps we are getting here at release, because as we all know with Battlefield 2042, there just really wasn't enough there in my opinion. So we've all been hoping that Battlefield 6 is going to deliver. As always, if you guys enjoy the content on the channel, make sure you're subscribed up. There's going to be plenty more to come on Battlefield here going into the future. In 2 days, of course, we're going to be watching the live gameplay reveal. I will be live streaming that here on the channel as well as over on Twitch, so if that's something that interests you, then feel free to come by, hang out with me, have a bit of a watch party. Your viewership is always appreciated. But let's just go ahead and jump right in here. So this leak is coming out of the Russian data miners, the 1BF Telegram account. So a lot of this is in Russian, but don't worry, I'm going to translate it for you guys. So over on the left side, these are the multiplayer maps as far as I can tell. And I'm sure some of you guys will have heard of these before. So we have Abbasid and then we have Outskirts. Both of these are set in Cairo, Egypt. So Abbasid is, if you've seen any of the leaks from Battlefield Labs, this is the map you've probably seen played the most there. We haven't seen Outskirts yet. This one is, as the name suggests, going to be sort of in and around Cairo, and you're going to be able to see the pyramids and stuff like that. Then we've got Battery and Limestone. Both of these are set in Gibraltar. And once again, Battery is one of the 3 maps we've seen from Battlefield Labs. This one has been played quite a lot. It's the one with a lot of the buildings, so if you've been seeing clips of tons of destruction going off, stuff like that for BF6, it's likely been on the Battery map. As for Limestone, we haven't seen this one yet, we don't really know too much about it, but it does seem to be another urban map. Then we have Capstone and Tungsten, and both of these, once again, are set in Tajikistan. So there seems to be a bit of a pattern emerging here where you've got 2 maps in each country. So Capstone, again, we've seen in the Labs leaks, any leak that had helicopters, anyone that had jets, that is the Capstone map set up in the mountains of Tajikistan. As for Tungsten, again, this is going to be completely new to us. We don't know anything about that one. Then we have Dumbo and Aftermath, and both of these are set in Brooklyn. Of course, one of them here, presumably Aftermath, is going to have the Brooklyn Bridge there with it. I'm not sure if it collapses, but you guys saw in the trailer, it looks like there's some sort of cinematic set piece there. It gets hit by some jets that come in, and they drop some missiles or some bombs on it. I think those 2 maps have to be like the top ones for me that I'm really excited to try, just because I can't really remember the last time we've had maps set in the US. I think it was probably Battlefield Hardline, but I think many of us didn't really play that game that much anyway. And then finally, we have Eastwood and the Badlands. Both of these are set in California. We haven't seen too much of this, but it seems like Eastwood is going to be like around the Hollywood Boulevard, that sort of area, whereas the Badlands, at least from the concept art that we've seen, looks to be more out in the boonies where there's some oil mining going on. So there we have 10 maps coming for the, let's call it the regular all-out warfare mode for Battlefield, probably like the one that we're mostly excited to play. I think 10 maps is a good number, and that definitely beats Battlefield 2042. If memory serves, we only got 7 maps with that game, and people complained a lot. It really wasn't enough on launch, so seeing 10 maps, I think that's a really nice, solid number. And then we have a special map here called Granite, and this one is also set in California, and as far as I know, this is going to be for not necessarily the regular Battle Royale mode, but the Gauntlet Battle Royale mode, where you're pitching a few different squads against each other in various tasks and sort of mini game modes where you've got to compete to see who comes out on top. This is, if you like, going to be Battlefield 6's sort of semi-competitive mode. Again, we don't really know anything about that one, but it is going to be set in the US. So actually, if you take that into account, almost half of the maps are set in the US, which is kind of interesting. Now, moving on from that, we also have 4 other data mined maps here, and we don't really know where these are going to be in the game, but they are remakes. So first of all, we have Operation Firestorm, of course, from Battlefield 3, was also remastered in Battlefield 4. Absolutely fantastic map, really thrilled personally to see this one in there. I really, really like that. Then we have Propaganda. This was from one of the Battlefield 4 DLCs, and I really like their thinking here. A lot of the DLC maps came out when the majority of players had already stopped playing the game, so I think this is going to be new for a lot of people. And of course, for those of us who knew Propaganda as one of the better maps in BF4, it's going to be really nice to revisit that one. Thirdly, we have Telemarket here from Battlefield 3. I think this was from the Aftermath DLC. Don't quote me on that one, I'm not 100%. Maybe if I'm wrong on that, somebody can correct me down there in the comments. And then, the next one is kind of a surprise. It is Downtown from Battlefield Hardline. Now, Battlefield Hardline, it kind of got a bad rap. Not many people liked it, and I'll definitely put my hand up and say I was one of them. But in actuality, it turned out to be one of the better Battlefield games in retrospect. A lot of people liked it. The infantry gameplay was really, really good. And one of the things that game did well is these smaller urban maps. And Downtown was one of the best ones and one of the most popular. So that, I think, could actually be very interesting to play in Battlefield 6. Now, where are we going to get to play these maps? Well, there has been rumours, of course, and I think it's even been confirmed by Flakfire, that Portal is coming back to the game. So we're going to be getting Portal 2.0. Hopefully, they've made some improvements to Portal 2.0 over the Battlefield 2042 Portal, because, as we know, it basically became completely overrun by people farming XP, 1000% XP farm, 200%, 400% damage servers, just ridiculous game modes that really made the game unplayable and broke the balance of it. So I'm not sure how they're going to tackle it here. I really don't know how Portal is going to work this time around, but I think it's pretty likely that we could be seeing those 4 remade maps coming to Portal. Now, whether they're going to work them into a playlist with the new Battlefield 6 maps, kind of like how they did with Battlefield 2042, that remains to be seen. I'm pretty sure they are going to do that, because I wouldn't want to skip out on playing these Portal maps and, only be able to play them when somebody makes a mode in with the server browser there. But just seeing them making some maps here from Battlefield 3 and 4, and also Hardline, is a really, really good direction. This time around, I sincerely hope that Dice and EA are planning to double down on Portal and make more maps, because that was certainly my expectation with Battlefield 2042's Portal mode, that we would be getting more of these map remakes from past Battlefield games as the seasons went on. Maybe we get like a regular map, and then we'd also get a Portal map, but of course we didn't get any at all, and I always assumed that maybe EA decided to cancel the content there just because they had to play catch-up for so long to get Battlefield 2042 in a playable state. So hopefully this time around it's not going to happen, and we're going to get even more remakes coming down the line. Now finally, in this little map leak, well, it's not really little, it's a pretty big map leak, we have all of the campaign missions. Now this isn't really going to be spoiler territory at all, but I can tell you guys that there are 9 missions so far. Now all of these were written in Russian, but somebody down in the comments actually translated them for us. And this is what they look like. So first of all, we've got the prologue, then we've got infiltration in Gibraltar, a night raid in Cairo, and I'm thinking back to the trailer, there is a little clip there with some soldiers with, night vision gear on, maybe that's from that mission. Then we have a defense mission in Brooklyn, drone attack in Tajikistan, invasion in Gibraltar again there, attack in Brooklyn, a tank mission in Cairo, and then it just simply says war in Tajikistan. So it doesn't really give away too much what's going to be going on there, except for maybe the night raid mission in Cairo, the tank mission there in Cairo as well. I really, really wanted to see another jet mission like the one that was in Battlefield 3 that everybody just loved. It was so super immersive, and I feel like they've never really been able to capture that same atmosphere for the jet gameplay ever since they brought out Battlefield 3. At least not for the campaigns and stuff, but who knows, maybe going down the line we're going to see more. Maybe there's some stuff here that we haven't seen yet. Do bear in mind, these are all data mines, guys, so these are just files that have been found within the build, probably the latest Battlefield Labs build, and so this is no guarantee that all of these things are going to come to fruition, but at this point, we're so close to reveal, I think it's pretty likely. Now, before I leave you, a couple of things I did want to mention. I would watch out if you're on Instagram and you're following Battlefield on other platforms, because there are a lot of scam invitations going around for a so-called open beta. So this is a screenshot somebody posted over on Reddit, and you can see they're on Instagram, and basically it's saying, yeah, hit the link down below and you can register for the open beta. I've seen these on other platforms as well. I've seen a lot of people just post them around on social media. So there are some scumbags out there, guys, who are trying to scam everybody out of their money into, you know, signing up for potential open betas. I'm telling you right now, there is no open beta or closed beta that has been announced yet, so wait for the reveal. And that sort of segues me nicely into the next thing. The reveal is going to be on Thursday this week, guys. I'm going to be streaming it here on the channel. I fully expect that the way this is going to pan out is we're going to get the dates for the open beta and the closed beta. I think what they're going to do is put the game up for pre-order at the same time, and my guess would be, you know, knowing EA and the current AAA gaming climate, that if you pre-order the game, you will get access to the closed beta, which will give you maybe a couple of days of early access before the open beta kicks in. There was also a recent YouTube video that went up from a Chinese creator based in Hong Kong, and I actually watched this video through with dubbing on, automatic dubbing, so I could understand what he was saying. And according to him, there is a creator event on the 2nd of August, and people in Hong Kong are going to be able to stream it. So it seems like we're not just getting an event happening in LA. I've heard rumors about one in London, now one in Hong Kong as well. So I think what is likely is we'll see the reveal trailer for the gameplay drop on the Thursday, and then over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of August, we will see content creators there streaming their gameplay live on their channels, and probably taking, you know, developer interviews, stuff like that, uploading those as YouTube videos. Don't expect any of that stuff out of me because I am not attending any of these events, but nevertheless, I will still do my best to cover anything of import for you guys here on the channel. So, if you're not already, subscribing is a great way to stay up to date with everything Battlefield. Leaving a like down below is always appreciated, guys. Let me know what you think about the map selection. You know, 10 maps here, then we've got the Gauntlet map, we've got 4 maps coming for Portal, and bear in mind as well, just because these were data mines, it's not necessarily at release. These could be coming in like the first season of content, and then we've also got around 9 missions there for the single player. So is that enough maps for you? Are you satisfied with that? Let me know down below in the comments. Have a good one, boys and girls, and I will see you all in the next one.